Hello YouTube divers, this is WaterDive 122 and I want to welcome you all to another episode of Magic Metal Mondays. Today we are going to be doing another top 10 songs list, and today we're going to be looking at my top 10 favorite songs from German power metal legends Edguy. Edguy is one of my favorite German power metal bands, really one of my favorite metal bands in general. Their mastermind is of course Tobias Sammet, who's a legendary figure in the power metal scene, really in the metal scene in general. The dude is just a freaking amazing songwriter, a great singer, and he's just amazing. I love Tobias Sammet. His voice is really good, really great actually, and as a songwriter, he's just amazing. What more do you want me to say? So basically what we're going to do, we're going to talk about my top 10 favorite Edguy songs. Which songs do I think are the best in Edguy's 10 album catalog? Well, we're going to find out. Let's do it, shall we? So, coming in at number 10, we got The Piper Never Dies, the 10-minute epic from the Hellfire Club album, released in 2004. In general, I think Hellfire Club is one of Edguy's best albums. It's very dark, it's very rockin', it's very heavy, it's a very just kick-butt album in every way, shape, and form, with so many of Edguy's best songs on here, and The Piper Never Dies is no exception. Piper Never Dies, as I said, is a 10-minute song, making it the longest song on the record, one of Edguy's longer songs. And I really like Edguy's epics, like Pharaoh, and Theater of Salvation, and Eyes of a Tyrant, and, you know, all of these longer songs that Edguy has done are just so engaging and so fun to listen to. And The Piper Never Dies is no exception. The Piper Never Dies, I particularly like the chorus, where you have that really banging riff, along with those chanting vocals and those operatic vocals from Tobias Sammet. He really expresses his range on this record, and in my opinion, in terms of range, this is the album where Tobias Sammet hits his peak, in my opinion at least. Like, the high notes on here are just so clean and so smooth. It's just really engaging and really awesome to listen to. So yeah, The Piper Never Dies coming in here at number 10. Awesome song. Coming in here at number 9, we got arguably the band's most popular song, and that is Tears of a Mandrake from their Mandrake album. This is probably Edguy's most popular song. Like all the European power metal bands, really all the power metal bands in general, have at least one song that can be classified as their biggest anthem. Like for Halloween, it's Eagle Fly Free, and for Stradivarius, I believe it's Heavy, High, and Low, something like that. Hammerfall, it would be Hearts on Fire, and for Sabotage, it would be Hall of the Mountain King. And for Edguy, it's Tears of a Mandrake. This song is just epic from start to finish. I love that little haunting organ intro at the start, and the way how they change keys from the verse to the chorus, such a nice touch, and of course Tobias Sammet killing on vocals, Jens Ludwig and Dirk Sauer on the guitars, both of them just great. Those riffs are so tasty. The whole song is, again, epic from start to finish. Just epic. Perfectly sums up the whole experience of the Mandrake album. It's epic. Alright, moving on to number 8. We're going to talk about Roses to No One from the Savage Poetry. If you remember from my Edguy ranking, Savage Poetry did come out as my number 1 favorite Edguy album, and it still is. I still consider it to be one of the best power metal records of all time, if not one of the most underrated power metal records of all time. I absolutely love that album from start to finish. No duds on it whatsoever. Honestly, I could fill this whole list with songs from just this record and call it a day, but I'm not going to do that. But Roses to No One is definitely one of the standouts on the record. It's one of the two ballads on the album, the other one being Sands of Time. And in my opinion, Roses to No One is so much freaking better. I mean, Sands of Time is okay, but if I'm totally honest, it's one of my least favorite songs on Savage Poetry. It's not terrible, but I mean, it's just kind of generic, I think. But Roses to No One is so heavy hitting and it's so punchy, and the way how those chord progressions change to the point where it's not so predictable and so generic. It's it really keeps the listener engaged in my opinion, or at least to me it does. I love Samet singing on this song. I love the lyrics. The lyrics to this song is just so good, so good. Um, and you know, it's just an amazing song. What more can I say? One of their best ballads, one of their best frackin' ballads. So with that said, Roses to No One comes in here at number 8. Number 7, we're going to be talking about my favorite song off of the Mandrake album, and that is The Pharaoh. Another 10-plus minute song from Edguy, and in my opinion, this is up there with one of their best epics. This is a song that the band really doesn't play live that much. I believe they only played it once or twice since Mandrake came out. But, I mean, and for good reason. I mean, this is definitely a hard song to sing, and I know, because I've tried to sing this song multiple times. It's, yeah, it's a workout, that's for sure. But, yeah, like with Tears of a Mandrake, this song just bleeds pure epicness from start to finish. I will say, though, the first half of the song is a little bit better than the second half, particularly everything before the whole quiet section. But after the quiet section, it kicks in with some of the tastiest European power metal grooves you will ever hear. Just fantastic song from start to finish. I freaking love this song. Alright, moving on to number 6, we're going to be talking about Babylon, the opening track from their third album, Theater of Salvation, from 1999. I remember when I was listening to Edguy's discography for the first time, and I got up to this point, like, I'd finished listening to Kingdom of Madness and Vainglory Opera, and then this song comes in, and then it just blows every single song from those previous two albums combined out of the frackin' water. Like, I cannot even stress the gap of my love for, like, the best songs of Kingdom of Madness and Vainglory Opera, which are Wings of a Dream and Tomorrow, respectively. I cannot tell you just the gap between those two songs and Babylon. Babylon is just a freaking amazing power metal song. And again, like with Hellfire Club, Theater of Salvation is one of those albums that is just jam-packed with banger after banger after frackin' banger. And Babylon is, in my opinion, just a fantastic song. I love those rhythm changes, and I especially love the chorus. Yeah, it might be a little bit cheesy, might be a little bit generic at times, but I don't care. I think it's a great chorus. Very anthemic, actually. Yeah, I love, not really much else I could say about this track. I absolutely love Babylon. Fantastic song. Number 5, we're going to be talking about Hallowed, the opening track from the Savage Poetry album. I really love that muted intro where they played the verse riff, and then it just builds up and then it explodes into the main riff. And I know on the demo version of Savage Poetry they play that riff, but it's like on the bass, and it's very dark and it's very ominous. But I'm specifically talking about the version you would hear on the re-recorded version that they made in 2000. And really, when I'm talking about all of these songs from the Savage Poetry, I'm specifically referring to the 2000 version, because as you know, I'm not a very big fan of the 1995 demo version of the record. But, yeah. So, yeah, I just love Hallowed. It's a great song, great chorus, great singing from Samet. He really goes up there when it comes to vocal range. And I love the time signature change or the rhythm change or whatever it is at the very end of the song where they play the main riff and there's like all these weird drum beats. Like they play the main drum beat, it's like very simple, and then they play like some type of compound meter. And it's a really nice touch. I really love that. So with that said, Hallowed coming in here at number 5. Number 4, we're going to be talking about The Rise of the Morning Glory from the Hellfire Club album. If you remember from my Edguy ranking, I specifically said that Rise of the Morning Glory is my favorite song from Hellfire Club. And while it still definitely is a kick-butt song in of its own self, my opinion has changed. We'll get to that later on in the list. But, I mean, still, this is just a rockin' song. It is the perfect summation, or it's the perfect definition of what the Hellfire Club album is. Dark, heavy, and just freaking awesome from start to finish. And like I said when I was talking about The Piper Never Dies, Hellfire Club is an album that just has a banger after banger after frackin' banger. And Rise of the Morning Glory is absolutely no exception. This has always been one of my favorite Edguy songs, and it will absolutely continue to be one of my favorite Edguy songs. I love this track. Moving on to number 3. This one might actually be a little bit surprising, because I was actually planning on having this and my number 2 spot flipped around. But in number 3, I have the title track from the Theater of Salvation album. Edguy's longest song, clocking in at around 14 minutes, 12, 14 minutes, somewhere around there. Depends on how you look at it. Really, the song is about 12 minutes long, but there have been versions on YouTube where there's like 2 minutes of extra silence. I don't know if that's actually what you would hear on the record, but I mean, so be it, I suppose. But yeah, this song, like with all the Edguy epics we've talked about so far, this song is just pure epicness from start to finish. I love all the dynamics. I love how it's shaped. I love how this song is written. I just love the structure of this song. It's just so great. So great. Everything from the verses to the choruses to the bridges to the solos to the everything. The drums, the bass, the production, everything about this song is just epic. What more do you want me to say? This easily is a top 5 Edguy song for me. Love this track. Always have, always will. So that said, Theater of Salvation coming in here at number 3. Song, not the album. Although the album is freaking amazing too. Alright, moving on to number 2. We have my new favorite song from the Hellfire Club album, and that is Forever. This is, in my opinion, not only the best song from the Hellfire Club album, but this is Edguy's best ballad. I mean, the emotion in this song is just on another freaking level. And really, with all of Edguy's ballads, Tobias Sammet just loves to express himself and his vocals. He just has a ridiculous ability to absolutely move you with his voice if you let it. It is just, it's incredible, man. And he really, on all of Edguy's ballads, he's accomplished that. But Forever just does it the best. Like I said with Theater of Salvation, this song is just pure epic. I mean, the acoustic guitars, the production, the drums, the electric guitars, the solo, the strings, everything about this song is just freaking beautiful. Beautiful. This is my favorite song from Hellfire Club. It'll probably remain that way for a long time. What a song. What a freaking song. Alright, now, before I reveal my number one favorite Edguy song of all time, we're going to go ahead and list some honorable mentions. Of course, Edguy is one of those bands that just has a ridiculous amount of great songs, so it was really hard to narrow it down to 10, but so be it. Here we go. We got Vainglory Opera, the title track from their second album, Vainglory Opera. Tomorrow, also from Vainglory Opera. Wings of a Dream from Kingdom of Madness. Wash Away the Poison from Mandrake, as well as Nailed to the Wheel, also from Mandrake. Frozen Candle, Misguiding Your Life, both from Savage Poetry. The Headless Game from Theater of Salvation. Holy Shadows, also from Theater of Salvation. Let's see. You have a lot of songs from Rocket Ride, like the title track Sacrifice, Save Me, Return to the Tribe. There's even some songs from Tinnitus Sanctus that I like Ministry of Saints, Sex, Fire, Religion, as well as Dragonfly and Thorn Without a Rose. And then Age of the Joker, you have Nobody's Hero and Robin Hood, Behind the Gates to Midnight World, Fire on the Downline. Space Police, you have Space Police and Defenders of the Crown, and Realms of Baba Yaga. The list just goes on and on and on and on and on. Just what a career. Alright, now, with that said, we're going to talk about my number one favorite Edguy song of all time. If you've been playing along, or if you know me personally, you know what my favorite Edguy song is. And that is Power and Majesty, off of the Savage Poetry album. And the main reason why this is number one is because I feel like this is probably, in terms of, like, riff creation, this has Edguy's best riffs. Like, I love me some juicy riffs. And this just has some kick butt riffs. I love it. Those, especially when they harmonize those riffs. Whew! And then, of course, the melody is great. I will say, though, this is not really one of Tobias Sammet's best vocal performances, in my opinion, at least. It's very rough. It's very gritty. It's very rough and dirty, like compared to his more operatic stuff, like from what you would see from the aforementioned Forever or Theater of Salvation or Tears of Mandrake, etc., etc. Yeah, I just love the main riffs. I love the guitar solo by Jens Ludwig and the harmonization solo from Dirk Sauer. And I love the groove to this song. It feels like you're riding on a horse and you're going out to war to protect your kingdom. It's just, I know a lot of power metal bands give off that kind of atmosphere, but, you know, so be it. What a song. I absolutely love Power and Majesty. It'll always be my favorite Edguy song. Easily my favorite from the band. Alright, now with that said, that concludes this edition of Magic Metal Mondays. Thank you so much for watching, my fellow YouTube divers. This is WaterDive122 signing out. Ready to dive and more fun on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Happy New Year.